It's up there in guitar learning YouTube land is what I've done there. Had some requests for a slowed down, more in-depth lesson on Carolina in My Mind. I love that song. I am Carolina, gone to Carolina in my mind, as they say. Even though I didn't sing it yet, but you know what I mean. It's a long song with lots of different parts. It would be you only get 15 minutes for a lesson on here, I guess. There's no limit. So I wouldn't be able to get it all in. So I'm just going to go through the intro and a little bit of the first verse. And I'll try to give you chord shapes. There's a lot of arpeggio and James Taylor-esque style guitar playing going on where you're going to be just playing fragments of chords, just picking apart the individual notes of chords. Lots of hammer-ons and pull-offs and a lot of stuff like that. So all those specific details, they don't have to be played, but if you can add them, the more the merrier. But I'm not going to try to go in and itemize each single one of them and show the exact ins and outs. I'll kind of show them, and if you want to get in and really get after it, feel free. We're capoed on the second fret. The intro, and I'll play it real quick. Something along those lines, but basically what you have a D chord, you're hammering on the bottom of it, and there's a lot of kind of what I call kind of claw picking, where you're plucking with your bass note, thumb, but you're also plucking the strings with your fingers, so you get a little bit of a like a pluck and a puck at the same time. So a D chord would sound like this, as opposed to strumming it. So that's going to be going on a lot with all the chords. So you got your D and you're doing a little to a G to a E slash F sharp to a E minor 7 to an A minor 7. And you get that little bass note melody line kind of thing going on again, which is very common with James Taylor. So again, I'm going to just go through it again slowly. And the bass notes are going from that D to the G to the F sharp to the open E to the A, and you're just kind of doing a lot of flary little things. And I don't even know if I can do it the same every single time, but it's supposed to sound something along the lines of. And again, you might be seeing a lot of these. The bass notes are so prominent and important in James Taylor's music. You're going to be doing a lot of plucking with that thumb, and a lot of leading into the next chord, and a lot of doubling and various tactics that will be employed, and you'll kind of see them as it's being played. So try to again employ that bass note melody line of plucking while you're playing, and as long as you're using those chords, it's going to sound pretty close. If you even just strum the chords, it would sound pretty close. But let's even speed that up a little bit. You get the idea. Moving on from that, you're going to move into the main theme of the song, which is the first verse. There was going to be a chorus and some other bridgy kind of parts, but we'll kind of start it off. In the chords, you're going to start with that D. You're going to go to a G, to a F sharp slash E, to an E minor 7, to an A, G, back to that A, E minor 7, back to the A. So I'll just play through it real quick and I'll slow it down a little bit. Excuse me there, I can speed it up a little bit, but you're going from the D to that G, F sharp slash D, to E minor 7. So, and there's a lot of like little arpeggio in those chords, however you want to do that. And after that E minor, you're going to go to an A, and then you're going to start a little sequence where you're going to kind of go back to that A, but there's going to be a chord before it. So you got G to the A, and then an E minor 7, and back to the A. So if you put all those together, you're going to get a sequence like and there's lots of little hammer-ons and things that you can do in there. One of them comes up on that A chord. So after you get the D, to the G, to the F sharp, to the E, then you go into comes that A chord, and you kind of hear a little, and all that is you're hammering on that B string on the second fret of the A chord. So here's your A chord, and then if you take that finger off, this guy right here, and you hammer that on, or you utilize that note change from that open D to the second fret, you can get a cool sound with a, and that's kind of something, a little spicy thing that gets thrown in there. So again, you have your you're going to go after that a little spicy thing. You're going to go into a G chord, back to that A, and then an E minor 7, back to that A. Now there's a little bass note thing going on here that you can add that adds a little bit of spice to it as well. So when you go to that G chord, right before you go back to that A chord, if you hit the bass note, which is the A string second fret, this note, which is being played with by this finger. If you hit that one right before you go to that A, you get a cool kind of feel. So I'll just kind of play it here. So you have bum, 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 bum. So you can use that second fret A string pull off, and it kind of leads you into that A chord because that open A string is the bass note of an A chord. And you could utilize it as part of the G chord and the E minor 7 because that note is being fretted on both chords. So after your A thing, G, bum, bum, hammer on, E minor 7, bum, bum, hammer on. And again, that's the hammering on that A, which is very common in the song. Lots of little hammer-ons and frills with that A chord. And that pretty much wraps up the intro and a little bit of the first part of the verse. There's going to be that walk down off the D chord. But that's kind of complex, and I don't have enough time to get to that, so I'll have to put that in as kind of a part 2 of this. So we'll consider part 1, the intro and the beginning of the first verse of the Caroline in My Mind. And just in a little bit of a review of this, you're seeing lots of arpeggioing of chords. When in arpeggioing, I mean you're just playing these chords in fragmented segments throughout the song. So when you start with that D chord and the you're not really strumming necessarily a D, but you're just playing little parts of it, so you get that feel. So again, you don't have to do it exactly like that, but if you employ some of those tactics, you'll spice it up a little bit and make it kind of cool. And again, the chords one last time for you. Your D chord, all relative to the capo. Your G chord, your F sharp slash D, where you have the bass note of the F sharp on the bottom part of the D chord here. E minor 7, A with your little hammer on, G, the A, G minor 7, to A. And I hope that helps. And when I get to time, I'm going to throw up another part 2 for y'all. Continue playing in that James Taylor style and finger picking away. Alright.